Yeah.
Hi, good morning, and happy Thursday. I am with WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network Radio, TV, and podcast, #1 internet talk show. I'm Elana, your host with Your Health Vibes. And today, my journey is to raise your heart, body, soul vibes to the next level so you can transform your life today. And today, I have, and oh, sorry guys, and the name of the show is Embrace the Muck. And I have the one, the only, Big Rob, aka my dad. My dad has been a past Temple president and is currently president of Jazz Angels right now. And everybody, let's give a warm welcome to the one, the only, my dad.
It's true.
Hi, Dad. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show. And today's show is sponsored by one of my favorite people, my grandmother, Mimi Feldman, who wants to highlight a charity that she's been involved with for many years called Vista Del Mar Children and Family Services. So there is a link so you can check it out. It's a nonprofit. They have been around for 100 years, and it's near and dear to her heart as to mine because I am on the board of it as well. So today, let's get this show started. I'm so excited for you to be here, Dad. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here and being present. I also do have a mother who I want to give a shout out to. She's amazing as well, and she will be on one of my shows another time. But today, we will be talking with the one, the only, my dad. All right, Dad, welcome.
Thank you.
So today, we are just going to have a little talk and just kind of calling his way of saying it, embracing the muck. My dad is a prostate cancer survivor, a heart attack survivor, a COVID survivor, and
falling off the chair survivor.
Oh, I forgot that one. My dad fell off the chair and had what did you have done?
My zygote bone was completely redone.
Yes,
I have titanium.
So we kind of consider my dad like a cat. He still has a few more lives, many more lives. So today we're just going to kind of talk about how do you embrace the muck, Dad? What kind of guided you, and maybe you can give us some tips and things that your journey and kind of where you came from and your just mentality.
Well, let's go back just before 8 years when before cancer was in my system and in me. The way I live my life, the way I continue to follow my dreams and my stuff. Some people think I might be too Pollyanna, but when I say embrace the muck, I have to live my life on a positive note.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely, yes, days. Elana is so funny. She says, "Oh my God, you got to tell them that you're not always there." And I'm not, but I find that in this world, people today, they want to hear, when they say, "How you doing?" they want to hear fine and move on, not a 5-minute diatribe, who you are, what you are, and why I did what I did. But I think that, it happens to, I guess by the time, the next 20 years, 25 years, half the population is going to have some form, they say, of cancer, which really sucks. So, in embracing the sucks. So, I went through the talk about my journey. Men over 50 get a PSA test, which is the specific antigen test that determines whether, it's a indicator. And over the years, I did it, and everything was great. And then it came back very high. And I could go into all kinds of scientific stuff.
You took vitamins. I think he's done everything possible with it.
Right. So, and, where Elana talked about her mom for a quick second, if I didn't have Debbie, well, where did that come from? If I didn't have Debbie in my life, it would have been, really difficult. But when they said it came back and all the tests, and it said you have, cancer of the prostate, I'm telling you, I was incredulous. I said, not me, not Rob Feldman. He is doing this and he's doing that and he's volunteering and he's doing everything under the world. And so it really knocked me for a loop. It became a humbling experience.
And I'm going to stop
ahead,
you too.
please.
I think we always think it can't happen to this person or that person.
No, you're doing
No, I
it.
get it. You wonder where I get this from. 2 peas in a pod, 2 Libras in a pod.
All right.
I think all of us took it a lot harder because you don't think it's going to happen to that person. You don't think that you're going to hear that type of news. But what got him through it and what got us through it is his mentality. He never played a poor me. He never said, why me? And he worked through it. I think we all took it a lot harder than he did. But he said, you have to embrace the muck. You have to see that it's not necessarily like it was attack towards him. Because I think so many times we think when this happens, why me? Why did this happen to me personally? And we can't have that define you. And that's what I love about my dad is that he never allowed this to define him. He never said, poor me, like, oh, I have this. So sorry, I had to pop in and give my 2 cents, but Dad, go ahead.
No, it's very true. For the first minute I did, why me?
Yeah.
It's very, let's face it, you all, it's a very scary situation. I don't care what anybody says. When you hear the big C word, and what happens is so many times people think, cancer, oh my God, is it contagious? And people don't want to talk to you anymore because you have it. And I'm going to get what you have. And very, very, much like that. And
so let me ask you on that, because
Sure.
I know it's very uncomfortable. And when you hear it, people always think like, oh my gosh, what do I say? I don't know how to talk to someone. And what were some of the things that you wanted someone to say to you? Like, what was the way that if for someone who doesn't have cancer and they're trying to talk to someone who does, what were those things that you wanted to hear, that you wanted someone to say and be okay with, opposed to what made you uncomfortable?
I tried to turn it around, because when somebody said, oh my God, you have cancer, and they kind of like ducked away from you. And I was like, oh my gosh,
Right.
wait a second. And I think that where I reached out, so I knew when Elana said, what did you do? I think that what I had to do for me, I had to, I'm one that helps. Debbie helps. We are constantly out there. That's our life. We're blessed. We give back. And so I had a very hard time at first accepting help. But what I found was the number one thing is let your family and friends help you. Let them, tell you everything and anything that has to do, whether you like what they're saying or not.
I think that's the biggest thing is, like, I was having a discussion with a girlfriend of mine, and her mom is going through some stuff, and she probably needs some help. And she said, you have to hold me accountable for asking for help, because that's the hardest thing. And my biggest advice, no matter what, we're all here. We want to give, we don't want to feel vulnerable. We want to look strong, but there's no strong, right, wrong, good or bad way. If you need help, it's okay to ask, and learning that more. I'm a giver. I love to help people, but I'm learning to ask for help. And that's one of a takeaway from this is asking for help and it being okay.
Right. And you continually embrace it. I mean, let's face it. We're talking about positivity. We're talking about maintaining the lifestyle that you have. Did I have days? Of course. I mean, you started dreaming. I don't dream much anymore. I started dreaming what's going to happen. If I'm gone and the family's here, and you have to have those discussions. You really do.
So how did you get out of your head? Because I know we get in that hamster wheel of all these thoughts, and what were some things that you could tell someone, like when you're in your head, not to spiral out and not to go?
Well, the way I did it,
spooky.
I ended up talking to other people that had cancer. And I'm telling you, some people, not some, but a few, were like, oh my God, I'm this, I'm a pest, I'm it, I'm done, I'm through. And then I had to deal with that, which I dealt with. And then I talked to other people who said, no, as Elana commented, you can't let it define you. I think that many, we treat cancer with a death sentence, and you can't, for me, you can't do that. there's so many different kinds. I mean, people say, well, prostate cancer, that's the easiest cancer to fix. Well, it's still cancer.
Right.
I mean, we had a chance when Debbie and I sat down with the doctor, and
Mhm.
they said you could do this watchful waiting and you can see, and if it grows slow and this and that. And Debbie came up with the best line of this whole thing. Is it going to go away?
Mm.
No. So we knew it wasn't. So I got it out. There's you make some changes in your lifestyle,
Mhm.
which I'm not going to go through in this program.
That's for another show.
Yeah, that's for another.
TMI.
Right. TMI. But I had to fight the stigma of having cancer. And now when you say embrace the muck, I embrace it. People say, well, you're healthy, this and that. They look at me and some people, I said, yeah, I'm 8 years cancer. I'll be 9 years in August, by the way.
Yeah.
But one more year of testing and then I'm released.
Mhm.
But
so men, please get checked
all day long.
All day long. Don't let your pride, don't let your ego get in your way, because so many times people are afraid of what they're going to hear or say, and then it's too late. So get checked.
Right. And one of the things that happened with me too is not only fighting the stigma, I talked to men I don't know, people from the hospital. We went to City of Hope, call, and they say, would you talk to this person? Sure. And then we have friends that say, would you talk? Absolutely. And I tell them everything and anything, and don't mince words about what you can and can't do. And for me, that was very healing because, I mean, it's in me.
Right. And with this, have you become like an advocate? Have people come to you? Like, do you feel that you've taken on something, not necessarily, that, but what has turned out with all of these things?
Absolutely. We are advocates. There's friends in my circle that have had it, and we're all advocates. They've had different, I'm very fortunate. I went through a whole bunch of stuff that everybody goes through. I don't need to go into the scientific stuff, but I went through and I was able to push through. There's a couple of my friends that, a cell was there and they had to go through some radiation, some other stuff. And so we went through it all together. I think that what's very, Elana always brings this up, and so does Deb. Men, we don't always express our feelings or our thoughts the way that women do. And women do. They're, we joke. I have a feminine side in me somewhere because.
And I'm going to stop you with that. I have to say I've been blessed with the communication with my parents and the side that my dad does have, the masculine and feminine polarity. He definitely has that and is able to express. And you wonder where I get my expression and my emotions from. A little bit more up this alley. But I think exactly what my dad's saying is, it is scary to talk about things, but we need to talk about it, and not having our ego get in our way or being scared, or, men reaching out to other men and being vulnerable. And it's okay to say to your friend, like, I'm scared, or I'm, hurt. Hi, Nick. Thank you for joining. So on that level, I think, we really need to get that ego out of the way, because I feel like that is the biggest thing nowadays, is that's what's stopping us. So what would you say on that?
Again, I have another, one of my dearest friends in the world. He has his best friend, and they told him to wait. And he was in his early 70s. So he was very young. I just turned 70 a few months ago. And
the new 21
of 70. Easily. But with that said, he wanted to do the watchful waiting. He didn't want anything. He wouldn't listen to anybody, nothing. And let's put it really out there, gang. He was dead in a year. And that is not the way the way I want to live my life.
Right.
Let's be honest too. When Deb and I were just getting started in our 30s, and we said in 50 years we'll do this, this, and this. We're 70 now, and so we do think about it. I mean, we have 20, 25 years left at least. And the way we look at it now, we talk to each other and we go, okay, 70 to 80, we're go, 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 go. Because Elaine always, and Steph says, you're always out, you're always doing. And then from 80 to 90, we'll slow a little bit. And then from 90 to 100, we'll sit by the TV and veg.
I don't think he's going to ever sit at the TV and veg. It's very hard for this man to sit down and not do anything. So I think too, that, that adds a lot to it. Like in exactly what I do. I said, they're lucky because I am a trader. I do exercise, I'm healthy and all that. And, being involved in that has really helped me strive to see where I'm at today, because watching him be healthy, be active. And it's not being crazy active. I mean, they're always busy. They're always also stimulating their mind.
Right. And I think that going into the next thought about it, because, you maintain a healthy lifestyle. What does healthy mean? But you maintain it. I mean, you continue to do what you're doing. I said, let friends and family help you. I said, that's major. I'd probably put that number one.
Or being healthy, like, okay, right. Dad, you've always been vitamin man and this and that, and you still are. And, so what, quote unquote is health, I don't think there's a good way, right way, good or bad, but what, encouraged you, or did you ever get a stigma? Well, I took all these things and I did this. So, what is your thought on
well, that? I absolutely said that to the doctor, and he goes, look, some of the doctors think that supplements are absolutely a bunch of hooey.
Right.
Some really embrace them. Here we go. Yeah. They embrace what's there and they go for it. And I think that, with this COVID thing, I mean, we take this immune support stuff. We've done all that. I did get COVID. I got a very, small, it was nothing. It was just a little bit here and there. And, but I did. You talk about other things that you want to do, fighting stigmas, doing stuff. What has kept me strong and kept me going. I mean, we joke and we laugh about it, but I've done some things to make this family nuts. And I go back to where I had said a minute ago, family is so important. We had the opportunity to take Valentine's Day. The four of us got together. I mean, Stephanie, so you know who I'm talking about, not just Steph. And she came down, and Elana was here, and Deb, and made a great meal, and we had fun, and we chatted, and we did, and
we laughed, and it was really beautiful, being able to. My dad kind of said, it's so funny, I do have a boyfriend who I love. I love you, Tony, and my sister and mom, but to come together as a family and have that was so special. We just got to laugh and be with each other and embrace all the muck, embrace everything that was going on, and just fully show up and be there.
But let's face it too, gang. We're not all Ken and Barbie all the time. No,
we all have our stuff. It's
but we'll get there. I think that in taking not only talking about cancer and what's there, I mean, doing dumb things. I mean, like, standing on the rolling chair.
Yeah, why did you tell everybody that?
I did that. I stood on a rolling chair in our office with the old wood stuff, and we had the tile that was really smooth. Fell off. Long story. I'm glad I'm here. Let's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then thirdly, it's 9 months ago. We had just been to Alaska. We had just played tennis. We just did everything in the world. And make a long story short, I had a heart attack.
And where did you have it at?
At the Dodger game.
And if anybody knows Dodger Rob, because that's his license plate, out of all places to have a heart attack was at the Dodger game.
But God bless your mother.
If it wasn't for my mother, who drove in the car all the way down to the hospital.
Well, we did. And we got in. I really, you talk about embracing the muck, and I do, people say, oh, again, you laugh like you do. Well, there's a bit of levity. When I was on the table there, when they were taking my clothes off, I had all my Dodger paraphernalia on, and they said, we're going to cut it off. And I said, no, just pull it over my head.
In the midst of a heart attack. That's so true.
And then the nurse next to me says, are you kidding? I'm an Angel fan, and was ready to cut it off. And so in the middle of all this, I think that, but yet sometimes I'm almost, I think about it too, that I need to be even more, I'm always trying to, I've done this since I've been a little kid, and I've worked on it a lot. The words I'm trying to get out is I want everybody to get along and with this craziness in the world. And sometimes it's a little bit too much, because Deb tells everybody when I was getting ready to be wheeled in to get the stent put in, she heard me in the background telling the nurse, when the nurse telling her, hey, I said, don't tell her, you'll scare her. And she goes, come on, give me a break, but.
Well, no, you forgot the part of the scare. they couldn't find the key to the car. That was the problem.
Which car?
To your car.
Oh, yeah.
So we couldn't find the key. So that was another funny thing. Like, don't tell them.
Those are the kinds of things that for me, again, it sounds a little I can't let that define me. I can't. We had, right after I had it, we had our 52nd and a half high school reunion because I was chair of that.
And how long did you guys work on that for?
Like almost 4 years because of the pandemic. But I wasn't going to go up to say hi, somebody, hi, I had just had a heart attack. It's not who I am. It's not the way I want to be. If somebody asks about it, yeah. I mean, we do it. Your spirit has to be embedded in you and how you do it and what you do for it. And it shows your genuineness in who you are and what you are.
All right. Well, with all that, I'm sorry to stop you, but we're going to have to take a break. And when you come back, we have some juicy stuff for you as well. You are listening right now to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, the #1 internet talk show network. I'm Elana, your host with Your Health Vibes. And we are here today with Rob Feldman. You can reach me at ef11ca@gmail.com. My number is area code 562-235-8410. And I have an awesome website, yourhealthvibes.com. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Stand up, get some drinks, shake what your mama gave ya. And we will be back. See you soon.
Okay, guys, you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We have just been on a commercial, and our host is coming right back here. We have wonderful Elana with Your Health Vibes. So welcome back to the show, Elana.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining Cece. And I just want to give a shout out to Cece. She's amazing and just so blessed. And without her, this show wouldn't be possible. So everybody check Cece out as well.
What a great show. And since I'm on, I want to go ahead and comment because, I think embracing the muck with your dad here, Rob Feldman, is absolutely wonderful, and sharing with us your life and what you've been through. And, being a cancer survivor myself, I totally get what you're saying about it, with regards to, first you feel like, they've said the death word, right, to you. And then you try to, really embrace it and try to understand it. And then you want to rise above it. And I think that's truly what we really all have to do. And so, I really commend you for it, Ben. And I will say, as a suggestion to you, Mr. Feldman, don't go on any rolling chairs anymore.
So true, right?
There's people that still call me after 5 years ago. I was going to get on a chair and I thought of you. So,
Well, we all do very silly things in our lives, I know, and sometimes we have scars to show them. But understanding it. But I'm going to let you guys get back to the show because I think it's important and it's wonderful, and I want to thank you. And I hope you'll be a regular on Elana's shows because I think it's wonderful. So
that's awesome. That's fabulous.
I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to share again who the show is sponsored by. Elana, I'll let you take it over.
All right. Today's show is sponsored by the one, the only, my grandmother, Mimi Feldman, who wants to highlight her charity, Vista Del Mar Children and Family Services. It's a nonprofit. They've been around for 100 years. Wow. You can check them out on vistadelmar.org, which is amazing. And I'm also on the board for that as well. So if you have any other questions or things about it, please feel free to reach out. Also, once again, this is my dad, Rob Feldman, realtor from Los Alamitos, past president Temple Israel, current president of Jazz Angels. And and with our show today, Embracing the Muck. And so we're back. If you guys are just joining again, I'm here with the one, the only, Big Rob, just kind of talking about embracing the muck. And he has been through falling off a chair, cancer, COVID, and a heart attack. So this half, we're just going to be talking more. If anybody else is on and wants to pop up and ask any questions, please. As I'm trying to say too many things at once. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. So,
and continuing on the thread of embracing the muck, I think that over the years, you always have somebody on your shoulder. When I first started doing all this philanthropic work, I didn't know that I'd be president of these organizations and this and that, but that's what drives me too. It makes me, it's humbling.
What makes it drive? Like what makes you?
Because we're blessed. Deb and I are blessed, and we give back and we want to see the fruits of our labors. I mean, let's take Jazz Angels, for example, which we're doing right now, where we help preserve jazz in the schools for underserved areas.
It's amazing.
And they learn how to play, they learn how to improvise. And these kids, again, where you talk about cancer and that's that kind of thing, these kids don't have much in their life at all. And they're very, very, some of them are very reserved, some have self-esteem issues. And based on the what they do makes it, they can learn one note at a time. Our founder has come up with a book like that. And we have, and then by the end of the session, they're amazing. I mean, right now we have over 200 students in a session. Since 2007, we've helped over 3,000 kids.
And, let me stop you here. What I feel so blessed of myself is that my parents have always taught me and my sister to give back and do, and always, I feel so blessed and feel so fortunate. But we did stuff. I can remember doing stuff with kids with muscular dystrophy and putting on shows and always giving back and always wanting to do more and seeing where other kids are from and to feel so grateful. So that is one thing that I really feel blessed about with my parents, is that they've always taught us to give back and give, and not give for, and wanting something in return. And that's what's so beautiful about my father, is that he gives without any expectations. He gives from his heart. He would give his shirt off to and we're two peas in a pod. We're walking by, we see someone on the street, my dad and I want to cry, certain stuff. So in that, he's really taught me to give back and show and be grateful, because in the world right now, there's so much going on. Like even just giving someone a smile, showing that acknowledgement, is really helpful. So
great segue, because one of the things I like to do, and I try to really follow, is in the morning you wake up and you smile. I smile at my wife. Deb smiles at me. That kind of thing.
Or you say when you're talking on the phone, leaving a message.
When you leave a message, you smile. Because if you smile at somebody, their day is going to be different. I don't care if you know them or you don't know them. And some don't want to acknowledge it and they walk away. Oh my gosh, but your smile is your being. I mean, you really say a lot about, you're giving, whether it's love or whatever, out to the world when you smile. To someone. I really, really like to do that.
And hugs. I mean, I know nowadays people you have to ask, but I am a hugger. And just for instance, I just did a pop-up chair yoga at a senior living home. And I said, I'm going to go around and after this, I'm going to give everybody a hug. And if you don't want one, just say no. Everybody except for one person. what felt so good about it, because everybody I was hugged, they said, I haven't been touched. I haven't been hugged in so long. It's just the acknowledgement, even just putting your hand on someone's shoulder, like just to see, we just want to be acknowledged and seen and heard. And if it's giving someone a smile, even, I always joke, I always do a little wink and everyone's like, I got it from my dad, even just a little,
But in today's world, it's tough to do too. And
Right.
the fact that you have to ask, that's okay.
Right.
That's great. COVID did some crazy things to everybody out there. And so coming out of it, I mean, COVID's here to stay, guys and gals and ladies and men, and, just to hopefully be a flu shot every year eventually. But going back to that, I mean, it makes you feel good. But again, one thing you take away from today is smile at somebody today.
Let's see that smile, Dad.
It works. It really works, if you, I mean, God, I'm not a shrink, I'm not nothing, but tell your significant other you love them before you leave for the day, because that really sticks.
And if you don't have a significant other, then reach out to a family member, a friend, someone, I think something they've always taught me, and I've always felt loved. And, I tell everybody that I love them, and it's not a cheesy thing. It's not because I'm fake. I genuinely, truly care. And here it is. You can love someone and not be in love with someone. Like, I'm in love with my boyfriend and I love him, but for a friend or someone else, I can love you, but not be in love and still say that. And I think people have such a hard time saying that word.
It's very, I talked about, earlier, some of the things that you can carry over from, maintain the lifestyle that you have and keep it going, because that will help. You talk to other people. Don't be afraid to do that. It's still that kind of world where some people don't want to talk to you, and that's okay too. But they're, do stuff that makes you feel good. Like this always saying, well, if you don't feel good this way or that way, go out and get your nails done. Even men go out and do that. Or
nails. I got my hair done.
I mean,
two of my favorite things.
Right. I mean,
and sometimes, do you like to get your nails done with me too?
I do. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things, is to go get my nails done
but,
with my dad.
I give a shout out. You always have, I mean, I'm very, very, very fortunate and very, very lucky to have Deb in my, in my corner. People talk about soulmates, and that we are. I mean, we've been together almost 46 years, 45 married. And it's pretty crazy. People say to us, oh my God, that's such a long time. No, Deb and I talk. It's funny. The minute we turn 70, we snap our fingers. Boy, that went fast. And it did. And it's still going, but we're making sure that we move forward on in life and what's there for the next 25 years.
And what's like one of the biggest things in like a relationship with Joel, not even just like with a partner, but like communication. I think what you have really taught me to express my feelings, speak your needs, and what has helped you and Mom not survive, but have such a beautiful relationship. I think communication is such a big
communication
thing.
And what Mom and I have done, what your mother Debbie and I have done for so long, is compromise. And you have to compromise. Mm-hmm. There's just something, I don't care what anybody says. There's just some things that don't, but you do them. And same thing with Deb. Deb does, stuff like that. I mean, we're going out to dinner with a couple friends. I have old friend of mine. And since we've said embrace the muck, Debbie's embracing the muck and going to dinner tonight, even though she's kind of okay. I know that she doesn't really want it, but she's done it. And that's what makes, I mean, again, I sound like I'm Pollyanna, you guys, but it just, that's what makes me go. I have very, very, very dear old high school friends that I have dinner with once a quarter. And they said, well, we've only got 10 years left. And I tell them I don't want to hear it.
Right.
And that's for me.
So
personally.
Dad, let me talk. I
Sure.
know we do talk positive, and it is, but say someone is having a bad day. And so embracing that, how do they move forward without feeling bad or doing, is it, and you talk about, we always want to be positive and this and that. Yes. But if you are having a bad day, how do you show up for yourself? Or what is the way that you can get through something, embracing that?
You talk about communication, you talk about compromise. I think the biggest thing that you can do for individuals that are having a day is you listen. If they want to talk to you, they'll tell you, even if it's only a couple of minutes, they'll tell you what they feel, and you have to be able to say, I hear you, I see what you're saying, because most of the 99% of the time they don't want advice, they want to just be heard, and that allows them to get it out of their system that they're feeling the way they are. And
I think that's so good about my dad is I feel like a lot of people are my friends, or just in general, why everybody loves him is because he's easy to talk to. You can come up. He is everybody's dad. And he has really taught me to, I know I didn't have to, or what you're telling me, I wanted to say that, to show the communication and show, when I have a bad day, he says, embrace it. And it's okay and accept it. And, you move forward with it. But I think so many times just being present when someone, is coming to you, you can say, do you want me to listen? Or do you want me to respond? So many times we want to respond and save. And that's what my dad is really good about, is actually listening to you and what you need.
Right. And even after all these years, Deb and I, when we're not, she'll say to me, listen, and we have to stop. And I say to her, listen, and we do, and we stop and we listen. And I think that helps. We're, there's not much else needs to be said about that. I know we're getting near the end of our stuff, but some of the things that I have tried to follow over all the years that all this kind of stuff has happened. And this is in no particular order. And if you have questions or thoughts about it, holler, go on the thing. And this is no particular order, but I've tried to, follow. I mean, for actually first on the list, though, what we've been talking about, relationships are everything. They really are. Do the very best work you can do. No corner cutting, no easy route to get to where you've gone. We there's no route like that. You talk about feeling and how challenge yourself often challenge yourself. Be available, even when sometimes it isn't always convenient. And you have to hear that.
That's good. Say it again one more time, please.
Be available, even when sometimes it isn't always convenient.
Hear that.
Be responsive. Get back to people as quickly as you can.
I'm good at that, and you are too. I think, but life gets busy, and but sometimes it's that little thing.
There's the last part of this.
I interrupt.
Be responsive. Get back to people as quickly as you can. They reached out because they need you.
Ooh.
So
say that again, please.
Be responsive. Get back to people as quickly as you can. They reached out because they need you. Even if you can't talk, hey, I'm busy on this. I'll call you in a couple hours.
You can do it while you're going to the bathroom.
Right. Okay.
Yes, in your morning routine, you get up, have the time we're in there for 20 minutes on our phone. You can get it back.
And one of the things, even if you're not working, whatever you're working on, whether it's a hobby, whether you're traveling, whether you're doing, enjoy what you do so much that it doesn't feel like work or anything else like that. So some of the things that we still do that because Debbie and I are still working, cherish your bookkeeper and your IT person, if you have one, if somebody knows how to use the computer, and tell them how much you value them. Because let's face it, Mom and I are dinosaurs in the tech world. We're learning. But
let's give Cece a shout out because she is running this show. Without her, we would not be doing this.
Just a couple more things. Have fun. You have to have fun in life. If you just do, and
that's what he's always taught me. We are that family that me. I love to dance, and this man loves to dance. He did get Best Dancer in high school. He was on American Bandstand, and I know I don't have to tell. He doesn't. He's very humble and doesn't like me to tell these. Well, doesn't necessarily like me to tell these things, but that's what I love about our family is we can get out and be the only dance family out on the floor and just having fun and living in that joy, because I think we don't think we can live in that childlikeness. And he's always taught to live in that joy, dance, put on your favorite song. I mean, I have so many memories dancing to Stevie Wonder and all these other, Earth, Wind and Fire and Doobie Brothers and just the whole 9 yards. My great uncle Herb Alpert, and the Tijuana Brass, and just so much joy that I've experienced that I've learned through my parents, because that's what they've taught us, is that you got to live like that. Well, you don't have to, but yeah. Woo woo.
So there's two more things. whether you pray or not, or whether you do to your own or how you do it, we call it more spiritual over in this household, and be grateful every day. Wake up and do I follow it every day? No, but I'm grateful every day for what I have. When you think about and you see what's out there, forget politics, but some people, my gosh, we're grateful every day. And then lastly, which is not lastly, no, but this is a good one too, is take time to pause. Life goes fast, and don't ever forget that it goes fast. I think that's important.
And so we're gonna read a little thing. I in all my on all my lives of my jobs and everything, I've taken after this man because he's had plenty of them, and I've had plenty of jobs in my life. So one of these I received when I was taking a class. It's anonymous. We do not know who wrote it, but it's called "Tomorrow Is Not Promised." So going to read this to you right now. And then, so sometimes people come into your life and you know right away that they were meant to be there. They serve some sort of purpose, teach you a lesson, or help you figure out who you are and who you want to become. You never know who these people will be, maybe a neighbor, a child, a long-lost friend, lover, or even a complete stranger who, when you lock eyes with them, you know at that very moment, they will affect your life in some profound way. And sometimes things happen to you, and at that time, they seem painful and unfair. But in reflection, you realize that without overcoming those obstacles, you would have never realized your potential strength, willpower, or your heart. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing happens by chance or by means of good or bad luck. Illness, injury, love, lost moments of time, greatness, and sheer stupidity all occur to test the limits of your soul. Without these small tests, whether they're events, illnesses, relationships, life would be like a smoothly paved, straight, flat road to nowhere. Safe, comfortable, but dull and utterly pointless. Dad?
So this is what age does. I have to put on my glasses.
So you're right there, the people.
The people who affect your life and the success and downfalls you experience create who you are. And even the bad experiences can be learned from. In fact, that they are probably the poignant and important ones. If someone hurts you, betrays you, or breaks your heart, forgive them. And that's hard to do, gang. It's really hard, but we got to do it. For they have helped you learn about trust and importance of being cautious to whom you open your heart. If someone loves you, love them back unconditionally, not because they love you, but because they are teaching you to love and opening your heart and eyes to things that you would never have seen or felt without them. Make every day count. Some of the stuff I'm telling you in here. Appreciate every moment and take from it everything you possibly can, for you may never be able to experience it again. Hold your head up, because you have every right to. Tell yourself you are a great individual.
You are.
And believe in yourself. For if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe in you either. You can make of your life anything you wish.
And let's read the list.
Create your own life and go out and live in it.
Live each day as if it were your last. Tomorrow is not promised. I love you. I see you. I honor you. If you like that poem, please reach out to me and I can send that to you. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for being here and being present. Just the fact of you showing up means so much. And today, I would love for you to reach out to someone, tell someone you love them, put on your favorite song. As I like to say, dance naked. I'm Elana, your host of Your Health Vibes. And you're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solar Network, #1 internet talk show host. You can reach me at ef11ca@gmail.com. My number is area code 562-235-8410. Also reach me at yourhealthvibes.com.
And can you see this after it's done?
Yeah, and join me bi-weekly Thursdays at 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific time, raising your vibrations, your heart, your body, mind, and soul. And another saying I'll just kind of end with, I wanted you to say, I love myself. I love everyone. and everybody loves me. Say it with me, Dad. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everyone.
I love everyone.
And everybody
loves me.
I just want to thank you, Dad, so
You're
much.
welcome.
You mean the world to me, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
I know he's not going to. Sorry, I get emotional. Just remember how important family and friends and life is, and tomorrow is not promised. So today, go out and love on someone, because I love you. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. Once again, I'm Elana, and this is Rob checking out.
Thanks, gang. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.